Hello and welcome to Marketing Edge on TV, Nigerians' leading initiative in the business of brand management and the management of brand business. It is a 30-minute potpourri of brand news, branding focus, and industry conversation, all in a mix encompassing thorough and in-depth, all aimed at promoting the brand idea. I'm Ogali Abikele.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
Good to have you back. First on Marketing Edge on TV is brand news, where we bring you the latest occurrences around brands and in the field of advertising, marketing, and communication in Nigeria and around the world. Now on brand news. As part of its corporate social responsibility to protect its consumers from environmental degradation, global beverage maker, the Coca-Cola system in Nigeria, is redefining and remodeling its product bottles to reset the bar on waste disposal. Speaking at the annual System Beach Cleanup exercise held in Lagos, Uwamaka Oyemelukwe, the Director of Public Affairs, Communication and Sustainability at Coca-Cola Nigeria, said the modification of the product bottles was imperative based on the overwhelming negative impact of plastic bottles in the environment when not properly disposed for recycling. The Director of Public Affairs explained that the initiative is geared towards curtailing the negative effects of plastic bottles on the environment, hence the need for the change to make its disposal easier for consumers. Members of the National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria, NIMN, have re-elected Mr. Idoriang Enang as president of the institute alongside 4 other candidates who contested for a seat in the governing council. The result of the elections, which was done electronically, was announced by the Electoral Committee at the annual general meeting of the institute held in Abuja. According to the Electoral Committee, out of a total of 1,310 registered voters, only 354 voted, noting that Idoriang Enang scored 100% of the total votes, having garnered 354 votes, fulfilling the constitutional requirement to be returned unopposed. First Bank of Nigeria Limited, Nigeria's premier banking institution and leading financial inclusion services provider, has won the Financial Institution of the Year award at the African Export-Import Bank Afreximbank Pan-African Business and Development Awards. The ceremony marks the 30th anniversary of Afreximbank as it hosted the inaugural Pan-African Business and Development Awards in association with the Business Council for Africa in Accra, Ghana. The award bestowed on First Bank in recognition of the bank as an epitome of the Pan-African spirit through its leading role in promoting trade and investment across the continent, which has been instrumental to strengthening the economic and multilateral business relationship across nations. Well, that was brand news. Next is branding focus after this break.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Grandma.
What did you do this weekend?
Well, on Friday, I went on a science trip with my classmates to see the gorillas in Rwanda.
Huh?
Then, I watched the Cup final in London with the family. And on Saturday, my friends and I met up to hunt dragons again. Yes. Also, I taught the vacuum cleaner and the TV this new dance everyone's doing. They're really getting into it. And on Sunday, I went to bed watching the world from space. And you? Yes, so Grandma.
With Airtel 5G's lightning fast speeds and seamless connectivity, you won't believe what's next.
Who wants to tell me the answer? Good. This way.
I give my soul. You get my time and dedication.
Hey, stop that.
You know, get waiting for life. Where I know fit to. Cause all the dream where we don't dream must to come true. It must to show for you. Cause it's sure for me. Together we will ride against the mountains away. So make you dare with me. Cause I dare for you. Together we will ride against the mountains away.
Teach the advanced way with Glow LTE Advanced, the power of 3 data networks in one. Get a Glow SIM or dial *301#.
This is the University of Africa. On the streets, you get your real education. Here, everybody has a degree of something. But the most important qualification is imagination. Her reason to imagine is slay. His reason is to be the goat. Theirs is to take the beat and make it lit. They want to test edgy until it is fire. Their reason for imagination is to add riz in style. Her reason to imagine is finesse. And hers is to find what's new and bussin'. So no matter what your situation, just use your imagination.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
Now one brand in focus. No brand wants to waste its budget on an irrelevant audience. A brand's reputation risks being tarnished in the eyes of consumers if its advert appears alongside misinformation or near harmful content. While the evolution of technology has facilitated exciting new capabilities, malicious players in the marketing and advertising ecosystem are also capitalizing on these opportunities for their own ends. As a result, digital media is facing an arms race between the AI that is helping to generate fake content and the AI that is combating it. False content has obvious ramifications for brands. If their advertising appears adjacent to misinformation, they can be perceived to be endorsing it, which damages trust with key customers. In addition, media spend takes a big hit if advertising campaigns wind up next to harmful content, as precious inventory is wasted, crucial audiences are missed, and return on investment plummets. In 2019, the Global Alliance for Responsible Media was launched and has been working to improve brand and user safety by addressing harmful content on digital media platforms and its monetization via advertising. The Global Alliance for Responsible Media has recently expanded its guidelines to include guidance on misinformation, which defines it as the presence of viable, false, and willful misleading content that is directly connected to user or societal harm. The danger of misinformation and its wide-reaching consequences for society and brands prompted the Global Alliance for Responsible Media to introduce it as a category within the Brand Safety Flaw and Suitability Framework in 2022. This has helped brands to become more aware of the importance of monitoring misinformation and has provided key, unified guidelines for identifying, demonetizing it during the media planning, targeting, and optimization process. What's more, there has been a disturbingly rapid rise of deepfake videos in recent years, with their numbers doubling every 6 months since observation from December 2018. Deepfakes are made using a form of AI called deep learning to create images of false events. They can take the form of videos and images and can even be applied to voices to mimic a person's speech. Needless to say, these fake videos can take a dark turn as they are often created with malevolent intentions. But that was Branding Focus. Next is Industry Conversation, where we have interactions with distinguished personalities in the business of brand management. Well, this week we will be continuing on the conversation we started last week with the CEO of Ideas Origin Media, Mr. ISREAL OBATUNDE, after this break.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Grandma.
What did you do this weekend?
Well, on Friday, I went on a science trip with my classmates to see the gorillas in Rwanda.
Huh?
Then, I watched the cup final in London with the family. And on Saturday, my friends and I met up to hunt dragons again. Also, I taught the vacuum cleaner and the TV this new dance everyone's doing. They're really getting into it. And on Sunday, I went to bed watching the world from space. And you? Yes, so Gamma.
With Airtel 5G's lightning fast speeds and seamless connectivity, you won't believe what's next.
The words are hard to find, but they're still heavy on my mind tonight. The pain is deep inside, but I still want to hide tonight.
Is this what you really want to do?
Yes, Dad. That's what I've been trying to show you.
Fight for your dreams the advanced way with Glow LTE Advanced. The power of 3 data networks in one. Get a Glow SIM or dial *301#.
This is the University of Africa. On the streets, you get your real education. Here, everybody has a degree of something. But the most important qualification is imagination. Her reason to imagine is slay. His reason is to be the goat. Theirs is to take the beat and make it lit. They want to test edgy until it is fire. Their reason for imagination is to add riz in style. Her reason to imagine is finesse. And hers is to find what's new and bussin'. So no matter what your situation, just use your imagination.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
Okay, let's talk about data. We see that, of course, we all know that data and insight is very critical to the successes of campaign communication, marketing communications, and all. So, what would be your assessment of the availability of data for the kind of business you do?
Data has always been a huge, I don't want to use the word problem.
Challenge. It's a challenge.
It's a huge challenge. Yes. We don't have data, and not like we don't, the access to the right data. I've, over the years, worked with a lot of strategists and it became a point of question, of worry whenever I want to employ strategists to ask, how do you gather your data? Because I've seen it over time that what the template that is being used for a particular campaign or brief is being transferred to the next brief, different client, but changing, names and stuffs like that. So I'm always very particular about it, but at the same time, you can't blame them. In developed countries, you have companies, agencies that are dedicated to just gathering data on a particular cause or topic. They can just want to say, we want to know how fast women are in responding to their babies, mothers to their babies, to their children. They just have some gathering of funds for it, and they go all out. So when agencies want to do stuff, they don't have to be cracking their head. They just need to get access to their database. Now, we don't have so many of that here. And that also transfers to even image banks, even companies that gives us some of the things we use. If you see your Getty images now, they've been there since forever. We don't probably have something like that. And we have fantastic photographers in this part of the world. But who wants to go to that lens of investing hugely in having an image bank just for Nigeria, just for Africa? You understand? That also goes back to when I was at Miami Art School. There were, I was privileged to see back end of campaigns that were done for the likes of Mercedes, and you see the journey, you see how detailing it was. They didn't just put ads here or there just for the fun of it. There were data backing it up, comprehensive data, not just some, I went to Google, how are these people thinking? No, comprehensive data that are backed by researchers, good work of researchers. So we still don't have that in this part of the world. And that is why it is, when there is a challenge, clients are probably pushed to say, oh, let's bring this data-driven agency on board. Can you please help us gather data on why this is happening? So, the trend so far has been problem leading to asking why. Not necessarily, we just need those data. We just need to have those data to support maybe when somebody needs to have access to it. So I will honestly say there's still a huge challenge for data gathering in this part of the world.
And so what would you propose that can be done? We've spoken to different practitioners who suggest that clients should invest more in data gathering and of course, accessibility to data. And agencies are also giving some kind of suggestions. What would be your
Being
position?
deliberate. We should be deliberate. I don't think we should say who should do it. I think we should be deliberate about doing it ourselves. Yeah. One of the dreams, the vision of, of our agency is to have that. I had proposed it in one of my agencies where I worked before I started we had a team, strategist, myself and some other guys, and we wanted to start a platform where all we are doing is gathering data. If some of them watch this interview, they will probably be nodding wherever they are. So, and we proposed to the agency. So it all goes back to, where do you want us to see the money to fund this? Is this going to pay the clients? Is this going to pay the salary of the workers? Because it's a long-term investment. It's not an investment you start and you start getting the money back immediately. So that's why I said we have to be deliberate about it. But I don't blame any agency that is not doing it or client, because at the end of the day, salaries have to be paid.
Definitely. In your response earlier, you spoke about the relationship between clients and agencies. And that brings me to the conversation around the advertising industry standards of practice that, of course, talks about the credit policy, disengagement and engagement policies, and as well. It's over 1 year since that regulation was introduced. What would you say is the impact on the business and practice of advertising so far?
Yeah, I think the impact is huge. It has allowed both agencies and clients to be very cautious of how we relate positively, not like negatively, positively. And because fingers are not equal, it has affected everybody based on your mode of operation. But I think in some levels there has been a bit of respect. There has been a bit of, oh, I think we shouldn't do this, because there's always a regulation that is guiding it. Yeah.
Okay. For the ban on foreign artists and voiceovers by the EPIS Advertising Regulatory Agency, ARCON, where do you think this leaves us as creative professionals?
It's two-edged sword.
Okay. I like the discussion.
Yeah, it's two-edged sword. Every good decision that has been taken so far, I think, is for the best interest of the practitioners. Some of these regulations are really fantastic and great. I've shot a TV commercial that even to the to the art director that is supposed to carry the light for the cinematographer came from outside the country. it's so, I mean, it was so unbelievable. So in instances like that, the regulation has been able to caution things like that. However, we have agencies that are not they are not yet financially empowered to practically short or reshoot, some of the things they already have, and for them to propose back to their clients to say, this hard, we have to reshoot it, is another budget on its own. So it now takes a very good understanding, between the parties involved. As I said, it's two-edged sword. But of course, as we are growing, it's an emerging and growing industry. I believe it has set the pace for right practice.
So tell us about your company, Ideas Origin Media.
Ideas Origin Media is a passion that has really come to life within, and we ourselves are amazed about the record so far. I mean, we officially started last year, August, and what we've been able to achieve between then and now has been really tremendous, remarkable, because, and it all boils down to the fact that we are just here to make a difference. Yeah, we saw some of the gaps, some of the loopholes in what has been existing, and coming out with a very fresh approach. You can call us the fresh guys in the blog. The fresh approach of being original. Yes. Right? We have a sense of accountability. We have ways we report. You don't give us 10 million naira and we are scrambling for how we spent it. No, we give reports on every penny you give to us, and we back it up with innovative ideas and creativity. And we, as in personally, my track record working for other agencies has never been below. So it's just continuation of that, like top-notch creativity, beating ourselves to the best we can do. So, and it's so amazing when we see the result of the hard work of being true to the craft. It's so amazing.
Very remarkable. So talking about your track record, what would be your description of your career trajectory over the years?
I think it's record-breaking.
Okay.
Yeah, I can confidently and boldly say every agency I've been before starting mine, I've left a footprint of excellence.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, everyone that knows me, I give my best to my work and I push myself.
What would be your expectations for the advertising industry under this new administration?
Policy, the right policies. There will always be challenges. There will always be there will always be issues to solve. But when there are right policies guiding right economic policies, it will be easy to scale through some of our challenges, because as a nation, there are so many challenges we are facing. But I think when we have the right policies in place with the right people, exactly, because if you give the right job to the wrong person, then there will be a problem. If we can have the right people in the right capacity to take up some of these assignments, then our problem is probably half solved.
Okay. Yeah, we hope to have a very impressive growth for the advertising industry, seeing that everything is settling down politically. But we see that there's current economic challenges. We alluded to that fact, when we talked about how agencies are trying to navigate some of the challenges. But what would you say would be your projection of advertising spend given these current challenges we just talked about?
I know, as you know, advertising spend is still a good in silence. That is not really a popular conversation. So, I mean, I think if we can sort of triple what is supposedly what we have now, it might be a good space. But like you said, the economic challenges is really something else right now.
Before I let you go, just tell us who ISREAL OBATUNDE is, something we haven't read about you.
I'm a go-getter. I don't back down. When it's a good purpose, I don't back down. I give it all I have, and I always love to make everybody around me happy.
Yeah, so thank you so much, sir, for this time you've allowed us to have this conversation on Industry Conversation.
Thank you.
And we hope that we'll have future conversations with you if you let us.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
And that's it on Marketing Edge on TV this week. Do well to join us same time next week for another interactive time. I'm Ogalia Bikele. See you again.
It's always a great morning on the TVC Breakfast Show.
Thanks for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
With the array of stories that matter and what's behind them.
As you say, the first blow indicates the direction of government.
Tell us what really is going on between your union and the federal government.
Once it's generated,
if you don't use it, it's waste. We are not even sure whether we have a strategy for security.
Are you saying that there was nothing wrong in that?
Was he the one driving the taxi?
Answer the question.
Reveal your morning with all you need to know.
Like the uncle,
yes, just mundane lyrics.
Yes.
How does that fit into your scheme of events or duties right now?
No chief of staff, no general has the right to call a governor to order. The governor has been elected by his people.
Start your day right, because this is the breakfast show that adds to your breakfast. TVC Breakfast, weekdays at 7 a.m. only on TVC News.
Lagos is the most visited state in Africa as the 5th largest economy on the continent. Covering the state and its government is no mean feat. It's a busy beat. We go beyond the curtain of tapes to travel in far into the deep.
I want to thank the Lagos State government for the healthcare facility.
To bring stories that cut across all spectrums.
A greater Lagos shall be ours.
We tell you stories that define our collective well-being as Lagosians. I'm Adedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
In the month of June, the 4th of June 2023, makes it 27 years since the wife of the late MKO Abiola, Kudirat Abiola, was murdered. 5th of June is World Environment Day. On the 7th of June, the global community celebrates World Food Safety Day, while June 12 is Democracy Day in Nigeria. Also, June 12 is World Day Against Child Labor. 13th of June is a day set aside for International Albinism Awareness, while 14th of June is World Blood Donor Day. The 19th of June is set aside as International Day for the Elimination of Sexual Violence in Conflict. It's also set aside as World Sickle Cell Day. 26th of June is International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. 30th of June is International Day of Parliamentarism. Brace yourself for the month of June and stay tuned to TVC News for special reports and analysis.
Politics is defined as getting what, where, when, and how. But in the mix, many things come to play to shape the political fortune of any country.
Honorable Minister, that's how you misinform the public.
From the political actors to the electorate, campaign to voting, from debates to policy decisions, big events happen to engage us in constant conversation.
That's what we're looking for. Not some people who are talking about ethnicity. No.
Who is on your mind?
Don't worry.
Join me every day on Politics Tonight, where we dissect issues that shape our political destiny. Politics Tonight, weekdays on TVC News.